So, as I said, my name's Monique Zorgas, and I'm the CEO of the German New Zealand Chamber of Commerce. And what we'd like to do today is try and give you a clear idea of what services you can tap into as a client and preferably as a member of the organisation. The German Chamber has been around in New Zealand since 1983, providing support to New Zealand importers, exporters, as well as German subsidiaries located in New Zealand. So let's have a little look at the poll now. Most people interested in the Chamber work, and some have just come out of interest. And I know we do have some of our colleagues from around the world. That's the great thing about webinars, is that we can watch other people's webinars from around the world. So welcome to colleagues who are looking in to see what we do. If you have specific questions, you've probably all done this before. At the bottom of the screen, there's the toolbar and there's the Q&A button. If you want to ask questions throughout the webinar, please do. Just use the Q&A button to do so, and I'll try and monitor it as we go along. So now I think we've got the results are pretty much in. So you've just come out of interest. I know Sandy's going to be wanting to make sure that it's become a member. So she's going to have to do some work on you there. If we can kick into the presentation. The German New Zealand Chamber, or the German Chamber, has been around here in New Zealand since 1983, providing support to New Zealand importers and exporters, as well as German subsidiaries located in New Zealand. And we hope the four of us will be able to give you some good input. Julia, if I can have the next slide, please. Thank you. I hope you're going to be as attentive as this young lady in the picture. She looks like she's taking some serious notes. We'll try and make this as interesting and informative as possible for you, and give you a bit of a guide through the various divisions of the German Chamber. Simply said, we're broken down into 5 divisions, as you can see listed there. We provide services free of charge and also chargeable consulting services. We are, of course, a membership organisation. We represent and support a number of international trade fair organisations, and we're a fully fledged event organiser with a complete communication department. We're a pretty small team, dare I say it, of women. Extremely energetic and pretty effective, I think, in our own way. So there's me holding the flags, if you can actually see that at the top of the screen. I report back to the Association of German Chambers of Commerce and Industry in Germany, the DIHK as they call it. They love acronyms. I also report to the German Federal Ministry of Economics, the BMWE. And of course, for governance purposes, we do have an executive committee here in New Zealand. On the right-hand side is Alex, as she prefers to be called, our trusty accountant who will chase you to the end of the earth if you don't pay your bill. My deputy, Christy Carter, who looks after the consulting services area. Sandy Motion, our business development manager, who looks after the trade fairs and the membership. And Julia Hahn, who is the wonderful lady behind the organisation of all these very last minute changes from normal events with people in a room to webinars as we're doing today. Julia, who looks after the events and communications. And don't let me forget the interns. We have always had and always will have interns in the office. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes 3. They are a wonderful resource. They teach us things just as much as we teach them, and we highly recommend that every company consider having an intern or 2 in their office. What surprises many people I talk to is the size of the German Chamber network. The network has been around since 1894, so it's 126 odd years old. So it's had a bit of time to develop. In Germany, there is a core network of so-called IHKs or IHKs, German Chambers of Industry and Commerce. I told you they love their acronyms. This is 79 very large offices with 4 million member companies. It's quite a network. And important to understand is it's compulsory for companies in Germany to belong to their local chamber. And their subscriptions are a percentage of the income or the revenue that they've made each year. So in normal times, it's a very well-resourced institution. The German chambers in Germany not only run events and the like, they are also responsible for operating the very important dual vocational training certification, something I'd love to bring to New Zealand. It's a real success story in Germany. And then of course we have the AHKs, the German Chambers of Commerce Abroad, of which we are one. There are 140 offices around the world in 92 countries, and you can see the list there of the offices in which countries they're in. Next slide, please, Julia. So basically we're one institution with 3 core functions. We are the official representative of German trade in New Zealand. We're also a service provider for both German and New Zealand companies. And we're a member organisation with members in New Zealand, Germany, and also other locations around the world. In fact, at the moment, we are the largest of the EU member organisations in New Zealand, with around 270 odd members and also 130 German subsidiaries. Oh, and by the way, we're also responsible for not only New Zealand, but also the number of the islands in the Pacific. So before we move on, I do want to just do one more poll, getting you all warmed up for these things. Really like to know whether you are already doing business with Germany. I like the way this one's changing. Very interesting. 68%, 70% answered. I hope we're not preaching to the converted. We'd like to be able to convince more companies in New Zealand to do business with Germany. So it's always good having those that aren't doing any business with Germany. So I think that's probably about it. I'll end that poll. So yes, most of you are doing business with Germany, but there's about 20% who are not doing business and would like to. So on that note, hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight, Christy, into who you're talking to. I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Monique, for the introduction. And as you would have seen on previous slides, we are very involved in a lot of things like membership, events, communication, but also consulting services. And the aim of our consulting services is really to bridge the distance between 2 markets that have such a huge geographical distance. And with our services, we share our expertise about these markets, but also our network in these markets with our clients. We do have a bilingual team that can easily work with New Zealand clients, but also with German contacts. And more importantly, we also understand the cultural differences between the 2 countries, which is really important when it comes to market entry strategy and market entry support. So talking about market entry strategy, there's multiple things that we offer our clients. And one of them is, which is normally the first step, and we call it the market dossier. it's normally the first step to actually learn something about the target market. So this can be either Germany or New Zealand, depending on where our client sits. And it is to understand the target market and the market conditions in the respective industry that our client is active in. And that covers not only a little bit about industry performance and trends, but also about supply chain, locations, but a little bit about the competitors' landscape, the products that are already in the market, and the conditions that our client would actually face when exporting to this market or even setting up a business in that market. Those dossiers are really tailor-made. They can be very small and superficial, but they can go also really in depth, and that really depends on how far our client already is in the decision-making process of exporting and how much our client knows about the target market that they're going to. Either building onto the market dossier or as a standalone service can be the business partner search. Business partner search is really the core of our expertise because we love connecting people from our networks in both countries. And business partner search means that we find clients, suppliers and distributors in either New Zealand or Germany. And it is a bit of a process that we go through. So after defining the target group of who our client is interested in us finding, we do what we call an address research. And that is really a deep list of contacts in the target market. But we go a little bit further. We actually personally contact these companies, find the right person within the organization to talk to, and gauge their interest in our client's product and market approach. From there, we actually hand over, and it depends on our client's criteria and how long our client really wants us to hold hands. We can hand the contacts over in simple ways like an email or a Skype conversation, but we're also very happy to arrange meetings for our clients or even go to appointments, for example, in Germany on behalf of our New Zealand clients. The next service that I'd like to mention, which is a very nice crossover between two departments, is our trade fair services. So a little bit later, you will hear from Sandy Motion that we're very involved in several trade fairs and we're representing several trade fairs. And one of the services that we offer around the whole trade fair organization is that we're matching the business partner search together with the trade fair experience. And we're helping you identifying potential clients and potential suppliers or distributors that you can then meet during your trade fair, during your trade show. And we can also offer on-site support during the show and attending those meetings with you, helping to document those meetings and helping you to actually make the most out of your trade show experience with us. The next service I would quickly like to mention, because it is very much based on companies that are in Germany and that haven't got a representation in New Zealand yet, but are thinking about having a representation in some way or form. It is also something that is interesting for German subsidiaries that have made it to Australia, but not yet to New Zealand. It is what you could call a virtual office, and it's a three-tier model that really starts with something simple, which is just a virtual representation of using our address and having us handling your mail. And it then gradually builds as clients also need a little bit more support in the market. And it goes around topics like web registrations and email registrations, the use of our meeting facilities, but also us organizing events for you and helping you with your presence in the market and your market material, and also a little bit of market research. Another service that we offer to all our members, regardless which country they are in, is human resources. So human resources is really three different things that we're doing here. The third thing, to start from the bottom, is the job portal that Julia will talk a little bit about later. It is a member portal where you can actually list your job vacancies. But we also help companies finding executive placements. We work with a couple of recruitment agencies that have specialized on executive position search. and are very experienced in the New Zealand, Australian and German market. But we also help people coming to the New Zealand market or to New Zealand and wanting to apply for jobs. And they always need a little bit of help rewriting their CV, because the CV in New Zealand is looks a little bit different than the German CV, and we're here to help with a little bit of career advice and talking about the different interview process in New Zealand versus Germany, and also getting the CV on track. And because it has become more and more important that we also offer services to our members that are already here in New Zealand, and not just to companies that are looking into coming into the New Zealand market or looking into exporting to Germany, we've come up with the idea of executive reports. Executive reports are really an idea that comes a little bit from my background as an ex-managing director of a German subsidiary, where the reporting requirements to the German head office were enormous. And there was a lot of very frequent reporting about the New Zealand market, our industry, and certain key stats and data that had to be submitted on a regular basis. And it was one thing that was always left to the last minute because it didn't seem too important for the New Zealand management. But we were thinking, for everyone who is in the same boat, this is a great service to use, because we would build a report template for you once with all these external key data that is not about your actual company, but about the industry that you're in, and obviously also around the New Zealand economy and news, political situation, and whatever else you need to report on, and build that once for you. And then, depending on your frequency that you need to report back to your head office, we can just update that. It works like a subscription, and you get that sent by us. It's made by our research team. We do have the research databases and resources, and that's why we thought it would be a great way of using that for our New Zealand members as well. Last but not least, I would like to touch on delegations and projects a little bit. So not only do we organize a lot of political delegations between the two countries and have very, very interesting visitors and roundtable events where we normally also involve all our members, but we're also heavily involved in two projects with the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy in Germany, and that is around an annual trade delegation under the umbrella of energy efficient solutions, as well as a future project starting next year on the construction industry in New Zealand. So these delegations, they can go both ways. We're also happy to organize delegations for our New Zealand members to Germany, and we always try to involve our members as much as possible in those delegations and in the B2B meetings that are part of those delegations. I would now like to hand over to our Business Development Manager, Sandy Motion.
Thanks, Christy. For those that don't know me, I'm Sandy, and I've been with the Chamber for 5 years now, and quite often around the office and events I'm known as the token Kiwi of the Chamber. Just got to be one of us. I wear 2 hats. I manage our membership division, and alongside Monique, our trade fair division. So first off, putting on my membership hat, I'd like to, we have around 270 members. And to those members today, thanks, it's great to have you along. And to those non-members that are watching, like Monique said, I'll be in touch. We'd like now to take the chance to say a warm welcome to our new members that have joined the Chamber this year. You can see their logos. Our membership base is quite diverse, like the range or sectors, if you like, of companies you can see here. We have our large, well-known New Zealand exporters like Gallagher, and being a little girl growing up on a dairy farm, Gallagher's was a household name to me. And then we have right down to companies like Hansa and Newfoundlands. We have service providers like Customised Talent, Contract Prof and Qatar Airlines, and importers of German products like Isodome and subsidiaries like Schulke, whose hand sanitizer products I'm sure you'd all recognise at the moment, especially in the hospitals. You can always see who's new to the chamber. It's quite easy on our website under the members tab, select member news, and then you'll find the new member announcements. On LinkedIn, hopefully you all follow our page, and if you don't, make sure you do, and we do our new member announcements as well. So apart from being belonging to one of the largest EU chamber networks that there are a whole host of different membership benefits available. Number one, and probably one of our most important, is information, support and advocacy. There's the good old saying, strength in numbers. This is true. Aside from us keeping you in the loop with the German-New Zealand trade relationships, we're here to be your voice. Monique facilitates CEO roundtables several times a year, and these can be with a visiting German minister. Obviously, sometimes they'll tell us that they're coming in 6 weeks, so Julia has to make everything happen in a short, efficient time like she does. Visiting German minister who's wanting to get the lay of the land and hear straight from the German subsidiaries on their relevant day-to-day challenges that they're facing. Obviously at the moment we can't do those in a physical capacity, so we're doing them digitally. New to the chamber this year, we are introducing industry forums, again assisting with that support and advocacy. First off the ranks is our construction forum. If you'd like to be involved with this, the construction forum or any other industry, depending on what you're in, better still, if you'd like to put your hand up and champion it, we're all out for that, please let us know. Now, numbers 2 to 6, I'm not going to bore you to death and read them all out. We will cover those all off as we go along, and Julia will expand more on number 7, which is speaking platforms and events shortly. Now, you don't have to take my word for it or our word for it. You can see the quote from Dean Sheed. He is the General Manager for Audi. You can see what he has to say, and we have many more quotes like that as well. There are 3 different levels to a membership within the GNZCC. We have our core membership, and then you can see here our 4 companies, our executive partnership. Now, it always goes without saying, if you'd like to see your logo up there with the Audis and the Lufthansas, VTNZ and ATPI, well, then we're always happy to have you. So come and chat to us and we can figure out a package that works for you. It is the next level up, so what does it include, you're probably wondering? In addition to the core membership inclusions, we've put together a range of marketing activities, and they're all designed to increase your profile, your brand awareness within the chamber, the membership, and also our trade fair clients. We have base packages, but we can customise these depending on what would benefit you the most. What works for one doesn't always work for the other. We sharpen the pencil, as I always say, give you a bit of a discount, and then you can enjoy those cost savings. A few of the package inclusions for an executive partnership would be, we have a dedicated landing page on our website. The logo is included in our executive partner banner on our website and in our e-newsletters, and that's just a couple of examples. And last but certainly not least is our highest level, and that's premium partnership. This is the level of partnership for those that want the highest level of exposure and engagement within our membership and our wider network. So what do the premium partners get? Premium partnership, if you like, and I always think of it as an upsized McDonald's Hunger Buster combo. So you've got the core membership, you've got the executive member benefits, and then you've got the premium partner benefits as well. Again, we sharpen our pencil and make the price look better. The website and the newsletter logo banners are in a prominent location, both front and centre. Our logo banners are included in all our event invitations, so remember this when Julia explains shortly about how many events we do. VIP invitations. 2 years ago we hosted an invite-only CEO luncheon with the German president. You can guess which companies go straight to the top of that invite list. And one other of the key additions is, unlike executive partnership, there is exclusivity in your sector. For example, we have VIRTUW, you can see their logo there. They're an automotive premium partner, and as long as they're there, BMW and Mercedes, they don't get a look in. Now, to find those 270 members, you want to talk to a couple of them, maybe lots of them. Where do you find them? We have 2 membership directories. The first up is our online membership directory. This is where you can find the member details. Pretty easy. Again, select member, membership directory, and these are all listed alphabetically. Not sure of the company, but you know the industry they're in. You can search by industry in the search bar, and as you can see the shot, they will appear there. You just click into the company name and it will drop down the contact details. You can see here we've got all of our members in the automotive industry. Are you wondering why we've got Audi's logo and VW's logo but nobody else's? That's because it's an exclusive benefit. It's exclusive to the executive and premium partners only. Double the Vision, DTV, we like acronyms too, it would seem, is our annual publication. It's the only printed publication that focuses on the German and New Zealand trade relationships. Julia will cover a little bit further into that when she does her presentation. Monique and I can often be heard to say that Double the Vision is like our Bible. The membership directory is like gold. Julia, go back please, you're speeding up on me. So like I said, Double the Vision comes with me on all my appointments. You can see here that the premium and executive partners have the hero spots. They're also listed alphabetically as well, so they get double the profile. You can have up to 200 characters in your description. If you're an importer of German brands, you can list these here also. And we do have the option to make your description pop out, if you like, by including your logo. Member for Members. This is a platform we provide to our members. It's the opportunity to provide specials on products and services for our members. This is exclusive to members only, and it needs to be accessed with a password. If you've forgotten that, then contact us and we'll give you that. Currently, we have 16 member offers listed, and that's ranging from tourism and hospitality, who really need our help right now, to fitness. We have a hair salon, there's foreign exchange, right through to food and beverage deals. These offers are available for all of those in your company. So if you've got 30 plus people, all of these people can access these offers. If you want to include something, just let me know and it's no problem. So that's my membership hat done. While I change hats, I'll hand you back to our trade fair guru, as we call her, Monique.
Thanks a lot, Sandy. So before we go into trade fairs, again, you can see I rather like doing these polls. I'm going to put up another quick poll for you. It always interests me to find out who's actually either visited or exhibited at a German trade fair. Not just any trade fair, a German trade fair. It's a race. But the yeses are definitely leading. Probably shouldn't be influencing the poll, should I? Oh well. Great. Let me just share those results. So 60% of you have either exhibited or visited a trade fair. And the rest of you, we just need to do a little bit of convincing, because it is really one of the best business platforms that you can use. So I'll just get rid of that and explain to you a little bit about trade fairs. So trade fairs in Germany, it's a very unique scenario. They've been around since the Middle Ages, and in fact 2/3 of all the international trade fairs take place in Germany. So you might be going to a trade show in Frankfurt or in Berlin or in Munich, not necessarily to find a German supplier, but it might be someone from Italy or from the US. That's the uniqueness of German trade fairs, so-called Messe, not messy, Messe, the truly international trade fairs. It is a bit of a problem at the moment with the coronavirus, admittedly, but I think you'll all agree we all have a bit of webinar fatigue now after so many weeks of looking at people on screens, and there is simply nothing like meeting face to face to discuss business. And trade fairs are one of the most effective methods of doing just that. So they will be back. As an organisation, the GNZCC represents a number of the trade fair businesses in Germany, and we focus on their industry sector relevant shows. So for Messe Berlin, the shows most frequented by New Zealand businesses are Green Week, which is very similar to the field days in Hamilton, just about 26 times larger. Fruit Logistica and Asia Fruit Logistica, probably our most important trade shows from a square meterage point of view. Our fruit and veg exporters and also importers and suppliers of logistic packaging machinery, etc., go to those shows. ITB, the famous tourism trade fair, it is world renowned. The one in Berlin, of course, was the first trade show this year to be cancelled literally on the day it was going to open, so that was not cool. And its baby sister, ITB Asia, which is later on in the year, so maybe that one will be able to take place and we may be able to help take some New Zealand tourism businesses to it. IFA, the Consumer Electronics Show, it's probably one of the oldest industry trade fairs in the world. First show was in 1924, just before the TV was launched, in fact, which was actually launched at IFA, or Funkausstellung as it used to be called. And InnoTrans is a show that only comes up every 2 years, but is very important for countries who are looking at improving their public transport systems, i.e. Auckland, New Zealand. And I also picked out another one which I thought might just become more interesting considering our present scenario, CMS, which is the world's largest cleaning management services trade fair. Very exciting stuff, I'm sure. Sandy.
So for Nuremberg Messe, we represent the Australian market as well as New Zealand. Nuremberg Messe get very excited when we have exhibitors from New Zealand, as they really appreciate how far we travel to get there. VIRTUW is the world's leading organics trade show. VIRTUW has baby shows like China and America, to name a few. Had it not been for coronavirus, I actually would have been in China as we speak, as we had both a New Zealand and Australian pavilion planned, but next year. Vivaness is co-located with VIRTUW, and this is the trade fair for organic and natural skincare industries, which again is a good one for New Zealand. Your Trilogies, your Living Nature, your Snowberry, that'd be the companies that would exhibit there. Iwa Outdoor is a favourite of mine. It's the trade fair for hunting, shooting sports, outdoor activity equipment. And a highlight for me was assisting Swazi with their participation over there. Galabau was all things outdoor landscaping, maintenance, urban and green space construction, sports grounds, playgrounds. Hansa, they're one of our new members. They're another company that we assisted with their exhibiting over there. I won't go through them all, but I will mention Festival as it's the leading trade show for construction. So it's your doors, your windows and your facades. We're looking to take a delegation over to Festival from New Zealand and Australia in 2022. So if you'd like to be involved, please let us know. Now, VIRTUW Messe, like Iwa, is one of my favourite trade shows to visit. I always come back with thousands of photos and have many envious friends and family with what I've seen. Oh, I did actually bring back a trade fair hat from Iwa, from Australia. We won't mention that. Now, VIRTUW Messe is the leading toy trade fair in the world, and yes, we have New Zealand exhibitors there too. VIRTUW Messe also organise Insights X. Now that's the trade fair for all things paper, office supplies and stationery. Now as a stationery lover, that was heaven to visit as well. So moving back to this side of the world with New Zealand trade fairs. In New Zealand, we organised German pavilions within Building Z, which is New Zealand's leading building and construction industry show, and also at MX, which is the largest exhibition in New Zealand for manufacturing, engineering, machinery and electronics, all the industries that Germany are known to excel in. Not only do we have a prominent location, but the German pavilions are promoted as a must-see destination by the show organisers, which is fantastic. One of our key objectives is to raise awareness of the high-quality German products and technologies that are available in the market. By grouping all of our member companies together, we can create synergies and in turn assist our co-exhibitors, our members, with to achieve the maximum impact that they can get at the same or even reduced costs. They're both located at the ASB Showgrounds. Building Z is the 12th and 13th of August. Sadly for MX, they celebrate their 40th birthday this year. Originally it was scheduled earlier in May, but thanks to coronavirus, it's been postponed to October. We will be hosting networking events at both of these shows, so hope to see you there. So thanks for listening. I will now pass you over to our events manager extraordinaire, Julia.
If we can just, there's a question that's come in that sort of probably ties in with what you've just been talking about, and also Christy. The question is, I'm an importer, what can you do for me? So obviously being at the German Pavilion would be one option for an importer to be able to exhibit their products under the German banner. What else can we do for an importer? Sandy, Christy?
Okay, I might start. I'll hand over to you, Sandy, afterwards. Well, I guess it depends a little bit on how long he's been here, what industry he's in, and obviously we can help with finding new or replacement suppliers in Germany if he's importing from Germany. So we could help with what we talked about before, which is the business partner matching. But I think also linking into what Julia is going to talk about, just connecting the importer with our network of, for example, freight forwarders and so on throughout our events would be one option. Sandy, do you want to add on to that?
I think there's lots of different ways. Obviously, trade fair is one, depending on what industry you're in. It kind of depends. The best thing is that we have a meeting with you, we can go through what you're actually trying to achieve, and then from there we can figure out which parts would be best suited to you. And probably a little bit from every one of our departments would assist in that.
I think especially also, I mean, we're really the first port of call for German companies wanting to look at the New Zealand market. And often if we know that you have a range of products and maybe you're looking at something that's compatible with that range to extend your product selection, your diversity, if we know about that, then we can make sure that you're the first contact that we connect with the German company. So sorry, Julia, it's all up to you now. Events.
It's all good. Hi everyone. So thank you for that, Sandy and Monique. So I'm Julia. I'm the Events and Communications Manager at the Chamber, and after hearing a lot about trade fairs and services and membership, we come to the fun part, which is events. So events have changed dramatically due to the COVID-19 outbreak. So really from personal workshop and seminars, we had to move quite quickly and adapt quite quickly to the new norm, the new normal, which is webinars. But generally speaking, we do run our events in person, and they are a variety of different topics, like the Exporter series, for example, where we invite exporters to sit around the table and just bounce off ideas and exchange the latest updates. And we have also reoccurring events, like the immigration workshop or the employment law workshop. But with the new normal, we actually had to shift our events to digital formats. So we have actually done quite a few webinars in the past 6 weeks, and we all had to adapt quite quickly to the new way of doing those. But we have done it really successfully. So we usually have around 100 participants for our webinars, and this is really a good platform that our members can use as well to work together with us. And as Sandy already mentioned, we have started different types of forums. So we have, for example, a CEO and a CFO forum, and we are planning on creating more forums for different sectors. Just to quickly try to explain, so this is our way of really keeping the discussion between members and have the exchange of ideas, even if it has to be virtually. I mean, usually we would do a roundtable where everyone sits around and has a discussion, but at the moment we do it virtually, and it actually works quite well. And it's time saving and efficient as well, because you don't have to move to some place or to some venue. Jumping to networking events, one of our core focuses is obviously helping our members to build a strong and solid network of contacts within the GNZCC. And how do we do that? We do that with networking events, and usually a glass of wine, because it's easier, at least for Germans like me, to network with a glass of wine. But we have different types of networking events. And for example, what we do here at the moment with this webinar, we usually do with our new members. We invite them over, we invite our executive board, we give them a small presentation, and then we would actually have a networking function afterwards with the GNZCC board. So you would get the first glimpse of what the membership with the GNZCC is actually all about. But we also work really closely together with our members for networking functions. So for example, if you have opening of a showroom or a product launch or anything you would like to share with the audience, you usually not easily get in front of, we can help you. We can really help promote you, help working together with you. And I think with COVID-19, we have really realized how important those personal contacts are and how important it is to do those types of events. Our biggest event is actually a Oktoberfest, which we run annually in September. So the world's first Oktoberfest. We had last year nearly 600 attendees. We are not sure yet if we actually can do this year's Oktoberfest, but we of course keep you updated on that. Just a few quick stats on events. As I mentioned earlier, we had about 600 attendees at Oktoberfest, and all up we had 1,350 attendees to all our events. So over the course of last year we had 40 events, which is quite a lot if you consider the size of our chamber. So we work quite efficiently, but also this is only possible because we work together with our members. Jumping to a video, so I quickly will actually play that video while I talk and see if I can turn off the sound. Sorry. So one unique type of workshop we offer is our in-house workshop for members. This is a workshop on cultural diversity, and those workshops are really tailor-made for your company. So for example, you are a German subsidiary and you would like to bring the German culture and etiquette and how Germans tick in generally closer to your Kiwi employees or Kiwi colleagues. We can do that, but we also can do it the other way around. So if you feel your German employees need a refresher on Kiwi culture, Kiwi can-do, or just the Kiwi way of living, then we are here to do that as well. Our Kiwi-German hybrid Monique is well equipped for any cultural diversity questions, and we will tailor each workshop exactly to your needs. Quickly browsing over our upcoming events. So next week we have a webinar on social distancing. Now that we're moving to level 2, I feel there's a lot of questions and a lot of uncertainty, and we hope we can answer most of the questions in that webinar. We also have one webinar especially for our young professionals, which I will talk to a bit later, on brand yourself, as well as our yearly AGM at Hefele, which we are not sure yet if we do it virtually or in person or a mix, but we will keep you updated on that as well. And just to finish with events, I really would like to quickly go over the possibilities to host or co-host events with the GNZCC. because it is really a really good opportunity to showcase your unique venue, your product, or share your skills to an audience you usually don't get that easily in front. So use this unique opportunity to reach, up to 4,000 industry contacts. You will get great exposure for you and your business, and you will be included in all promotional material. So you will be mentioned before the event, during and after the event. You will be included in all our channels, so all the event invitations, the website, our social media. So it is really a great way to get exposure. But in the end, it all comes down really to help you build long-lasting personal connections with leaders in the industry. So if you are interested, let us know. And as Sandy would say, I would swap my hat now to media and communications, which is the second part that I do for the chamber. Communications wise, we have 4 different channels. We have our print double division, we have our newsletters, social media, and the website. And I actually would start with double division. So as Sandy already mentioned a little, this is our annual print publication with industry insights, economic reports, and this is actually sent to the top 500 CEOs in Germany, as well as to the top 100 CEOs here in New Zealand. It is also will be sent to the government institutions, associations, and importers, exporters, and many more. This is really, again, a great exposure for our members and especially for our premium and executive partners. And I know Sandy has this glued to her hip when she goes to any members, so you would have seen that at some point. Moving to our newsletters, we have 4 different newsletters. Starting off with our snapshot. Our snapshot is an industry-focused newsletter where we highlight a specific industry each time with it, and with it our members who are in that industry sector. And this newsletter has the widest reach, so this goes to about 4,000 contacts. Secondly, we have our German counterpart, which is a bit smaller, and it goes to our German readership. And next up would be our members only newsletter. So we have 2 newsletters that actually go only to our members, which is the Member in Chamber newsletter and the HR Insights. Member in Chamber newsletter, we really highlight and profile our members as much as possible. So everything you would send me on product launches, changes in the team, or everything that's really newsworthy, we would share with our members in the Member in Chamber newsletter. And this goes out to 1,000 member contacts. Last but not least is our HR Insights. This also is a members only, and it's specific for the HR department of our member companies. And we update there with recent employment and immigration law changes, but we also include the latest CVs that we have received. And it's just a quick update for your HR department. Coming over to our social media channel, our main platform that we are using is LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we have over 1,100 followers on our company page, but combined with the whole team, because usually the whole team shares the content that we have over 6,000 followers. With our LinkedIn, we promote our events. We give industry updates, we welcome new members, and we give insights in the GNZCC team life. So we actually have changed our strategy with social media to a more personal approach, especially as a member organization. We are about the people. We are more about the people than the company. So although we have Lufthansa, Audi, and SAP, it is about the connection really between Dean, Anton, and Karen, and we really try to reflect that in our social media as well. And again, this is one thing that we encourage our members to use for their own benefit. So use our social media as a platform to reach an audience that you would usually not reach. Quickly about Facebook. So we have Facebook and we use Facebook for our event promotion. So if you co-host or host an event with us, for example, you would be on LinkedIn and Facebook, but Facebook is mainly for events and fun content. Going over to our website and basically our last communications channel, a quick stats on numbers. Those numbers are from last month. So we had about 2,300 users. Most of them were actually new users. Our website is a bilingual website, so we have a German page and an English page. And last month in April, we had 8,200 page views. So we get quite a good reach with our website. And again, we encourage our members to use the website as a tool for themselves, for information, marketing, and for promotions. So quickly skipping over the different pages. So our event page on the website, what do? We list our GNZCC events. We also list our partner events, but also we advertise member events. So if you're organizing an event, let us know and we really can promote it and boost the numbers for you. So if you have an event that you would like us to promote, we're more than happy to upload it on our website as well. This is one that Christy already mentioned earlier. This is our career platform. This is really our most visited page on the website. You wouldn't believe it, but this is really where all Germans would go on first if they're looking for a new job in New Zealand, for example. So this is really for your HR department. And as a member, you have access to our CV database. So German really highly qualified talents have the possibility to upload their CV. We would we do a pre-screening here before we upload them to the database, and as a member you actually get access to this database, so you can actually scroll beforehand through the different CVs and see if there's potential candidates. If you shouldn't find anyone in the CV database, you're more than welcome to actually upload a position, an open position or internship on our website as well. And as I said before, this is really the most visited page, so the hit rate is quite good. And just quickly, in a nutshell, the website, we really encourage our members to really use this website as a tool for themselves and their companies. This is really a lot of things that I've listed here. I'm not going over each point now. But you see, if you really use it, you can use it for your benefit. And that's what we want our members to do. Use the website for their benefit. Last but not least is a baby of mine, which is the GNZCC Young Professionals. We have started that about 2 years ago. We have around 140 young professional members. And the young professionals build around 3 main pillars, which is first, build and expand on your professional network. How do we do that? We organize networking events with our young professionals, but also with senior professionals. So we guarantee that our young professionals actually build a good network from the start of their career. We also organize workshops around Bitcoin and social media and everything that we think is at the moment of interest for young professionals, which is our second point, expand your knowledge. Last point is really my favorite one, grow cultural awareness. And how do we do that? We organize fun events for our young professionals. So actually just before Corona started here in New Zealand, we managed to organize a big German carnival, because Germans do like to dress up and Germans do like to have fun. So that was really one of my highlights with the young professionals. So if you are interested in becoming a young professionals, let us know. That's also possible. And I would hand over to Monique.
Thank you so much, Julia. Yes, it's not only the Germans that like dressing up. I think the New Zealanders do too. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, as Julia explained. I do have one question here already. I'm a hotel. What can you do for me apart from ITB? Who wants to go first?
Well, I can go first. Or do you want to say it?
We'll just fight on who can help you. There's a range of possibilities. There's listen, offer a member for members. There's have your logo in our membership directory, Julia can probably jump in here with the events and the promotion site.
Yeah, what I would suggest is really we can help you with an event. So if you would like to co-host or host an event to really show your hotel, we're more than happy to do that. We do sometimes networking events around Watch Us Work, where we would actually showcase your hotel, your conference space, your rooms. We could really build it into a whole strategy, do LinkedIn posts for this event, include it in the next newsletter, and really invite as many people as possible. So you get a great exposure. You can always upload press releases on our website as a member of the Chamber. And we're always more than happy to include everything new with your hotel, or if you have any special offerings, we're always happy to include them, as Sandy said, the members for members part on the website, or we can actually include it in our member and Chamber newsletter.
And last but not least, we also always are on the search for good venues for our delegations, for our projects. When our German delegations come to New Zealand, we always have a one-day conference. Love to do that at a member hotel instead of another hotel, so there's another opportunity.
Excellent, thank you so much. Looking at the time, always conscious of that. We Germans like to finish punctually. I have had the question, can we have the presentation? Yes, Julia, I'm assuming that we can send that out as a link afterwards. So thank you everyone for taking part this afternoon. I know everyone's got so many webinars in their schedule, and this one was very much about us telling you about us, which is sort of not what we normally do, but hopefully it was enjoyable, hopefully it was informative. Thank you very much. Thank you to my team. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.